Garmax facility that opened today. Let me ask if anybody can tell me. There is 28 to 30 facilities that open up. How many people in total you think that place is going to be employing?
20 places.
Give me a rough number. Just give me a rough number.
That's about 2,000.
All right. And even if we put it to 1,000, we are still on top to show the PMP that there is people in Jamaica that is getting employed, who's getting work for do. So that's 1,000 person Jamaicans who have work for do. So, I mean, it done, you know. It done. No more, we not have no more debate, we not have no more talking with them, we not have nothing to prove to them. Right? And the knife,
You see the fire truck the money run
yes,
out.
I saw that. Yeah, yes, exactly. Exactly. I saw what happened today. A matter of fact, I drive past it today. I pass it today.
When the fire truck come and fire scene, there's not the water.
There's not the water.
And the truck come and burn down.
Yeah.
I'm see the man them come and fight it to the end. Fight fight the fire.
The place cordoned off and dealt with properly, man. Properly.
But we proud of Jamaica today, me see that.
Say, man, we don't have no more. The only thing we focus on now is just turnout. We don't need to talk to them people and no more. It's done.
You need to talk, man. You need to talk.
So what? I mean, yeah, you can say it, but talk.
Yeah, you need to talk same way, you know.
What we need to do now is just go to bed early and get up the morning and go do what we have to do and come back away. Argument done.
You need to convince some people, because you remember my brother was there so one night after Hanover.
Argument done, Squitty. I mean, if you really see what happened today, and not only that, while the man was on the podium talking about that place, right, the man announced again, say, within a few, him have a next mega project again and got broke ground for. You can imagine that? Endless. The man has that. Yeah, man, then you know him say it. While he was talking today, me say, hear me, man, while the man was on stage today, I prepared to cut the ribbon for that place. The man announced a major project where him have, where him say, him go open, him have broke ground for that too. So it's endless, the man endless. I show Jamaica, say, boy, what am I do for the country? And I talk, I show him.
Yeah. And I don't know, do it for labor right?
No, I mean labor, who not Jamaicans.
Mm-hmm. When Andrew done with Jamaica, first world country.
First world country, thank you very much.
A true man.
First world country. That may I tell everybody.
So you can't afford to somebody now we are going to try run country.
Thank you very much.
You can't give somebody who going to try drive your car, your Chris car where you just spend what money. Buy. You're going to get learners.
I have no time to teach old dog new trick. It's all PFP all time in
Jano. But me I say, boy, it better you just go and drive your car here, so not give nobody for drive. No, because you don't know if they might mash up your car.
May I tell you?
But what's pretty? Nice.
What's pretty? If there's a Andrew 7.5% time, and he not start campaign or nothing yet. What will happen when the Labour Party start campaign?
Yeah, that means say 7% him say. But blue poll it says 10.
10. But if you take out the plus or minus out of it, it can go up to 10 points.
Ah.
Well, Squid, you see the fleet of buses.
It can't go, can't down. It must get higher.
You see the fleet of buses, them Squid?
Yeah, man, I tell you, so I see bus come out yesterday.
Jesus, man, how much more proud we can be, man? How much more proud can we be?
You see the jingle where say, me have to be a Labourite.
Me have to be a Labourite.
If me and a Labourite, God would have seen me. Why do you see the girl who said that thing? Why me want to meet her?
Eh? There have to be a Labourite, man. How proud.
Did have to be a Labourite.
Jesus.
God would have seen me.
I tell you.
So, well, Anne, Miss Lola, like how you know about Upper Center, tell me history about Upper Southeast there.
Me band country Southeastern Centre.
You hear the people them start to say, why the Prime Minister have a like a baggage carrying man if he step aside. That's what them saying.
Yeah.
They create a notion of lies about an individual which is not there. It is not there. But they, once them can speak it into the mind of the common man, for them to run with it. Anywhere you go, you hear them say, the Prime Minister corrupt, the Prime Minister thief, because, remember, you know, the Prime Minister has not done anything illicitly, but because they paint that in the mind of the Jamaican people become PNP. All right, how is it that the PNP-driven people them cannot see the devastation of the 90s and the corrupted act of the PNP of the 90s? How they can't see that? How they cannot see what Finsac has devastated this country and caused people to even analyze themselves? How can't they see that? Let me say this to you. And then Milan. I'm going to give you an example of a PNP, which I have a
answer the next question before you land. You go and talk.
Right. I went on a live, on a PNP live, right? And I heard one of them was talking about the Prime Minister and Mark Golding. You hear what I'm saying about Mark Golding now? Mark Golding come in politics with the money, right? To hold it and to hold the money. So me asked him the question now. Me say, which of these wealth do you appreciate most? Do you appreciate Mark Golding having come into the politics with his wealth, or do you appreciate a man who was barefoot at school, yeah, eat social bread, yeah, get an opportunity in life, go to the university, get another opportunity to make himself a millionaire, becomes the leader of the country? Which of them do you appreciate? The man say he appreciate Mark Golding because Mark Golding never have to work to pay him well. So me twist the question for him now and say, let me ask you another way. Me say, if you as an individual walk barefoot, go to school, work hard, get an education, get an opportunity, become rich, wouldn't you not want people around you to appreciate your wealth? He said, yes.
You mash him up there, sir.
Professor, that's wrong. If you ask me if you love a man who come to the politics, where we put children on black people and beat black people with the wealth, that is your ask me.
Yeah, but you have to talk where him get the wealth from.
Yeah. Same thing.
Yeah, all right. Let me ask you something, another professor, because you look like a man who know the thing. Out of the two party, right? Going back from way back when from Wapokin fill up to now. Because people are saying you have to talk about the past, but you have to talk about the past that you don't know where you go.
Exactly.
Out of the two party, even though PMP them say Andrew the worst corrupted government, which one of the two party you think commit in a Jamaica and over the country through corruption the most?
Can I start by saying this, that 1972,
yeah,
our dollar was stronger than that of the US. And our economy was growing at a massive 18.01%.
Yes, sir.
Right? And during the period of the 60s, the country was booming. Yeah? Infrastructure and development was taking place.
Yeah.
The then government of that time, yeah, was building out schools. They were building out schools. What did Michael Manley do? Michael Manley come and said to and send a message in the mind of the people now and say, better must come. When Michael Manley said better must come, better was already there. The better was already there. So to capture the mind of the people, you have to use what is presently happening. So that we can capture the mind by spinning it, by saying it in a different form, and then the people run with it. By 1974, Jamaica broke. And Michael Manley gone to the IMF. Where was the money? How did Jamaica reach to that point within 2 years?
Just a minute there, that is train. Just a minute there. Sorry for interrupt you. Classic. Sorry, here's quick. I'm not a dictator platform. But when we hear the document, the classic read, because what we have to know, we cannot stay more current so people can understand today and things. That's how we always mix up the future, the present, and the past. So we're glad to have people like Professor Strain.
Yeah, him I go read it, man. But me just want him land first and then. You go read it.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, read it. Just give me a minute. Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Go on then. Professor, can we have more talking for them?
Classic, you might know what me here.
Go on, Classic.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, man, so I'm come up here just for the virgin name, Ebby. Ebby says BPO jobs are low-paying slavery type of jobs. Okay? And I want you to see this. It is dated March 23rd, 2025. And it says PNP tops BPO as main job creator. Cool? I remember, I know what Ebby just said. And he said it because of what was said on stage by their shadow minister of finance, Julian Robinson. Now, let me read the story. It says Montego Bay St. James, the opposition People's National Party, says it intends to position the business process outsourcing BPO sector as a main job creator if it is elected to office in the upcoming elections, even as the party has stated that the industry offers low-skill, low-wage employment. Opposition spokesman on science, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship, Dr. Andre Orton, made the pledge after a tour of several BPO operations in Montego Bay Free Zone last Friday with several PNP members, including spokesman on industry investment and global logistics, Anthony Hilton. This is the number one industry that the PNP is looking at to move Jamaica forward, Horton told the Jamaica Observer. Currently, it employs 60,000 people. We want to move that in the next 5 years to 100,000.
Pause, Classic, pause. People, bear in mind, do not trust the PNP. In 2015, in an article in the Western... Yes, because... Yeah, man, remember the Peter Phillips, them did go actually bar or put a strong up on the BPO sector, despite being warned, but continue.
And it will come, but it will require the support from the government, he said. During the 2016 election campaign, the PNP had said that the BPO sector would provide a big portion of the 100,000 jobs it had expected would be created over 5 years if it was returned to power. The then opposition Jamaica Labour Party had promised that the sector would deliver 75,000 jobs if it is elected to office. Last September, at the public session of the PNP's 86th annual conference, spokesman on finance Julian Robinson vowed that when the party forms the next government, when the economy will be its priority from the first day, not just any growth, but a deliberate, inclusive, and sustainable expansion that reaches every corner of Jamaica. Growth that transforms our economy by moving beyond low-wage jobs to high-value industry, fostering innovation and driving value-added exports. This means creating better-paying jobs, improving infrastructure, and empowering local businesses to compete on the global stage, Robinson said to loud cheers from the comrades inside the national arena. He said that too often Jamaica has leaned on low-skill, low-wage jobs, especially in sectors like the BPO, which he was nevertheless quick to add as being good for the economy. Okay? So there is something that they shun. Them beat it up. Them say that the worst thing since the devil or since the PNP. Cool? But here it is that today, this is what they want to use to take Jamaica forward. And that is what Ebi said in his comment. BPO are the worst thing. And bear in mind, everybody who working in the BPO sector, again, in an article in 2015, in the Western Mirror, despite being warned, the then Finance Minister, Dr. Peter Phillips, despite being warned by the president of the BPO sector, Dr. Davon Crum, of irreparable damage that the CIT tax, that the CIT or CIT tax, that the government looks set to implement on the sector will cause harm. And he said, despite being warned of the irreparable damage that this tax might cause, the then Peter Phillips and the PNP still look set to roll it out in 2016, where we all knew that that never happened because the PNP lost the general election 2016. And when the PNP lose, Jamaica always win. So when PNP lost 2015, it was actually a savior for the BPO sector because, according to Davon Crum, despite being warned of the irreparable damage of a CIT tax that was implemented or will be implemented by the then Finance Minister Peter Phillips, the government looks set to still implement it in 2016. As I said, the PNP lost government 2016. So these people are flip-floppers. So you see at the end of the day, my virgin, the same PNP who beats down on the BPO sector and say it is a low-paying job, it is the same low-paying job that they want to use to give Jamaicans jobs if they get re-elected. So you beat it up.
Classic. I say it already, you know. Classic, them a flip-flopper and imposter. Classic, them a flip-flopper and imposter. That's all there is. That's all there is. They are big imposters. Because when you can't have a man sit down in a meeting where a man sing glowingly about Jamaica and you can't put on together for it. You know me and Jamaica no good. And we need to call out Peter Bunting for what it is. You understand?
But better than that. Big. When you have a man like Satan Campbell, say him go one old comrade house, and when him looking at the roof, him see all of the elements of the weather, rain, sun, hail, you name it, everything a come true, and the old frail comrade up on the bed, are dead for hungry. At the end of the day, what happened? Him never say at the end of the day, he make the man get little food for him. He never say he change the man clothes and change the man bed linen and clean up in the man place and give him one of the social house. He never say nothing like that. Him just left him there for just dead.
Left in a squalor, dead in a squalor as always.
Exactly.
Look at this now, look at this now.
One on the soldier. I say every time I think about it, you know who come to my mind? Boring Cole. Jesus Christ, but every time I think about it, I call.
No, because upon this, you know, classic. What on there? What is that? What on there? Classic. Watch this now. Be sure you say, the man them no mean nobody no good. I want somebody from down a jungle or down in our way, Mark Bowling Constitution, call me and tell me of something good that he did down there. What he did. Just tell me something when do down there. For the time and what Omar Davis did down there.
Before somebody else talk, the tax is actually, hold on, classic. The tax is actually a CIT tax, and it was 12.5% him that I bring forward, Peter Phillips. So him did have a crash the BPO sector. 12.5% CIT tax was what Davon Crum warned him about, say it would cause irreparable damage to the BPO sector 2015. So thank Jesus, PNP lost the election 2016. Continue.
Yeah, man. The same Mark Gold in your ask what has he done? And me, when me get the video from people at Jungle, on Climate Drive, where you see shit water run all over the place, and me post it up, and it seems as if it reached to the Gleaner or the Observer. It on one big thing out there. I saw you see him run go fix that. There was a pothole on the same road, and if you drop in at that, you just reach a hell. Same time. I saw you see him fix that. And we highlight many of the wicked things I'm do to the people. I know.
Are we not stop?
But this question I want to ask, so classic. Explain to allocate $1 billion in a trust fund for content creators. You hear him say that, no?
Me hear that.
All right.
Let me tell you what is a trust fund. Let me tell you what is a trust fund.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Give us the meaning of a trust fund.
Hold on, man. Hold on. What is a trust fund? Yeah. Now we'll get it now. It says trust funds are legal arrangements that allow individuals to place assets in a special battery of dead. Hold on. Come on. Hold on, give me a minute. What are trust funds? What are trust funds? Yeah. All right. A trust fund is an estate planning tool that holds property or assets for a person or an organization. Trust funds are sometimes simply referred to as trusts. They can hold a variety of assets such as money, real property, stocks, bonds, and businesses, or a combination of many types of properties or assets. There's like a little scheme where you can just put money in or so on, you know?
All right. Get the thing now. When you put your assets, yeah, money, whatever you have, to a trust fund, you see, is to remove it from public interference.
But I hear one saying where you hide it like.
Yes.
Oh, you're not public interference, strength. Public scrutiny. Public scrutiny. That is the word.
Yes.
It cannot be scrutinized. You cannot get in there. You cannot get in there. Yes.
So you see what me I come to now?
Yeah,
So
public scrutiny.
When the man say him going to allocate $1 billion in a trust fund for content creators, at the end of the day, the content creators are not going to get it. Think about that.
It's inspiration. Hold on this. We there, no squid. It's the inspiration, yeah, and somebody else there in the box this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Much is expected. Yeah? So that is why you find some people who say, nothing now go on for them. It is right there in front of them, you know. And you call them and not give it to them, you know. You send them to heart and them don't go. And yet still them come and say, nothing now go on for them. Because what they bury the one talent where them have. And their ability is just to exercise one talent. And you just need to take that one talent and go and exercise it and see if whether or not you can grasp at more talent.
Right. All right. Well, that's all. Punkos.
And 84. The JLP came in 2008 and took the murder at 101,584. And when they leave office in 2011, it was 1,133. The PNP came in 2012 and they took it at 1,133. And by 2015, it was 1,208. I also needed to understand, Squitty, that the PNP criminal organization, when it comes on to crime and violence in the society, have no answer. And when the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the most Honorable Dr. Jamaica Labour, the Jamaica Labour Party took office in 2016, they took the murder rate at 1,208. And Squitty, it went up and it went down. But the Prime Minister promised all of us Jamaicans that we're going to go to our bed with our doors and our windows open. And according to the Prime Minister, he don't make commitment, he don't make promises, he make commitment. And while the Prime Minister was putting things in place to keep us safe, as a matter of fact, I want to go back to, I'm running ahead of myself, I want to go back to 2015 when Peter Bunting stand up on a platform and say to us Jamaicans that his government have done everything that they can, and him, Peter Bunting, done everything as a minister to try and stop the murder in this country called Jamaica. And they come to one conclusion because they cannot stop it. So they come to one conclusion. And the only conclusion they come to is that Jamaica need divine intervention. I want Jamaicans to understand that the PNP criminal organization turn the criminals on us, because while they gave up on fighting crime and violence in this country, right, they gave us up all to the criminals. But this Prime Minister and this government, while he promised us that we're going to sleep with our doors and our windows open, the same Peter Bunting, the worst security minister Jamaica ever had, when the Prime Minister said we're going to sleep with our doors and our windows open, he used it as a thorn in his flesh every year. Every year. Matter of fact, he goes as far as to say that this Prime Minister governed over the murderous government, which is a lie. But Jamaicans, I want you to understand, while they were criticizing this government and this Prime Minister, they were putting things in place to make us safer again. What do you mean by that? The Prime Minister and the government of Jamaica have allocated billions of dollars on the government to invest so much in our security in the history of Jamaica. What they were doing with what they were doing, when I said investment, they were buying boats, they were buying ships, they were buying helicopters, because we want to protect our shores and our borders. The government have received the JDF or JDF was 4,500, and the government go on a massive recruitment drive. And right now, the JDF is over 8,000. The JCF, they received the JCF, when the JCF was 6,500 to 7,000. And right now, the JDF is reached at a point to full capacity. The government realized that the previous force that we have cannot fight the crime and violence in the society. So they go and they recruit the amount of people that we need to fight crime and violence in this society. I also want the Jamaican people to understand that when this government took office in 2016, they identified over 350 gangs that is operating in this country. And I want the Jamaican people to also understand that by the end of 2004, the government and the security force have cut that gang, that 350, by 75%. You understand what I mean? Jamaicans, I want you to also understand that what we are facing right now in Jamaica is a massive, massive reduction in crime and violence because of the allocation this government have made in the security force. Today, Jamaica is the envy of every Caribbean countries. Every Caribbean countries is talking about Jamaica, because Jamaica is seeing a 44%, 44.1% in murder, and Jamaica predicted to go under 600 murder this year. And let me tell you something, Jamaica. This is a big, big, big deal for all of us. This government is working and working overtime to keep every Jamaican safe and Jamaica safe. This government and this prime minister is the only prime minister, is the only government we really see that took crime and violence, take on these criminals they just hold them by the arm and take them on. You understand what I mean? Jamaica, I want you to understand also that while this government will put in the state of emergency to protect our lives, the PNP criminal organization bring the government to court. Bring the government to court. Can you imagine that, Jamaica? The prime minister, the government is trying to protect our lives, and trying to protect our lives, they end up in court. But I am so happy that the prime minister, the government, did not give in to the PNP criminal organization. They continue to fight the fight and to keep Jamaicans safe. I also want Jamaican to understand, Squiddy, that our constitutional court, because the PNP brought the government to court because of the state of emergency, and the constitutional court is telling us, the citizens of Jamaica, that over 1,600 murder right here is not qualified for a state of emergency in our country. What the court is telling us, the court is telling us that 1,500 murder in this country normal. Listen to me. In any other country, if one person died, let me tell you something. Some countries, they lock down the whole country to find that one criminal. You understand what I mean? We must not settle for this. You understand what I mean? That over 1,500 murder is normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. Jamaican people, no well-thinking nation, as I said earlier in my argument, going to vote out a government, a prime minister that is keeping the people and the country safe. You understand what I mean? Jamaica is safer today than 10 years ago. Listen to me, Jamaica. Let us choose Jamaica. Let us choose the Jamaica Labour Party, led by the most honorable Dr. Andrew Michael Holness, who is fighting the fight to keep us all safe and secure.
Yeah, quickly, if I can just jump in that Jamaica to